5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I hear voices in my head. They count to me. They understand. They talk to me.
It's time to plug into the Para Party. Freaks and geeks, you hit the peak of Friday night. It's podcast prime time. Aliva Saliva.
Yes, it is. You're listening to another episode of Talk Supernatural Radio. We're your friendly neighborhood podcasters, Scott and Heidi Linden, supernatural investigators bringing the spiritually bizarre to the mic. Thanks for tuning in. You know what, Scott? We have like thousands of listeners.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Times that by 2 because they each got 2 ears.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Right?
I just wonder, like, people want to hear what we have to say. Like, our kids are so sick of us, but there's thousands of people. We could use it as leverage.
Well, let me tell you something. With that said, we were asked to give a shout-out to Tony, Emma, Ryan, Tyler, and Peoria.
Peoria.
Yeah, it's spelt that way, too, isn't it? Illinois. Here's what they had to say. They said, you seriously have the coolest paranormal podcast out there. You are so stinking funny. You are awesome.
Just read what they said for real.
You're so funny, and you have the best topics. We listen every Friday night and cast bets on how many times the one, the only one.
No, they don't say that part. They just
Scott sings. And Heidi says, oh my. LOL, you never disappoint. Keep bringing it. And can you give us a shout out? Well, of course, we are giving you a shout out.
Yeah, woo!
So, and they're going to shout back. So I'm listening.
Okay.
Do I hear them?
Listen.
Nothing.
No, I didn't hear.
Well,
they're not too loud.
Yeah, well, they are distant, so.
Well, if anybody else out there wants a shout out, send us an email, talksupernatural@gmail.com. And you can join our paratweets at TSR Parapod.
Did you originate paratweets?
I did.
I think it's pretty cool.
Thank you. Paratweet. Tweet.
Tweet.
That's so okay, so on to tonight's show. News and headlines.
So
today is Jack Black's birthday.
What?
Love
Jack Black.
You're like Jack Black. You you channel him all the time with your singing.
I think he channels me. You gotta feel the vibe.
That's right. You remind me of Jack Black so much. He's so cool. Woo! Happy birthday, JB.
I'm older than he is, I think.
Are you?
Therefore, he's copying me.
Oh. Well, I bet Jack would have something to say about that.
I bet he would.
Yeah. Well, Jack Black can email us, too.
Yeah, he can.
He can give us a shout-out, Jack Black. Today is also National Cherry Turnover Day.
Oh, wow. Why didn't you tell me that this morning? I totally would have took the day off.
That's the weirdest thing. Like, who cares?
What was yesterday? National Dog Day?
Yeah, National Dog Day. Yeah. That's cool. That's fun. See, that's cool because we have a dog, but I don't really care about cherry turnovers, so I could care less. That's so weird. But today is a dark day in history. A lot of bad stuff happened. 19 years ago, Princess died and Prince Charles got divorced. Wow. Sad, sad. 25 years ago, 2 students were murdered by a serial killer. Okay. And that was in some, what was it? Some Florida...
Are you telling the story? Don't you tell me? Are you asking me?
I don't know. There was a pedophile. Remember Warren Jeffs, that cult leader? He was arrested. A Zulu king was captured. Yeah, in 1879. In 1941, there was a mass slaughter in the Ukraine. But that's not paranormal stuff. Are you okay? You all right? There, you sound like...
I was channeling Zulu.
I like when you channel Jack Black better. Okay, well, those weren't paranormal headlines, so.
Up to you.
But those are just news things that, were. But we'll give you guys some news headlines that are linked to the supernatural. That is tonight's thing. Scott, you are so strange. Why are you making all those weird faces? I'm trying to be quiet. I'm trying to be professional, and you're just doing all this wild stuff.
I ain't doing anything.
He is. He's being cray-cray.
I'm not being cray-cray.
You are.
Not.
Okay, so check this out.
No,
the New York Post reported. Okay, a Saudi prince is the new owner of Joan Rivers' Upper East Side penthouse.
Rivers. What?
Joan, are you singing that song, weird?
No weird song. I do nothing. Just read your stupid article.
I'm trying. It's not a stupid article. It's a good article. It's not. I'm reading the whole article. Just something from it. So, a Saudi prince is the new owner of Joan Rivers' penthouse. His plans are for major renovation, and they may earn the wrath of Mrs. Spencer. That's the lavish pad's resident ghost.
Resident ghost.
So, okay, so she owns this 5,100 square foot
Who
penthouse.
needs 5,100 square feet?
Joan Rivers and
I
her
don't think
tiny
my
little
lawn is that big.
There's people that think they need it. In fact, she was one person. $51 million. That's crazy. Like, you know, how many people you could feed with that? Oh, you know how many hours of podcasting we could do with that?
I bet you could feed a lot of people with that.
I bet it could.
What's that noise? That sound? That voice?
That's you. That's how stupid you sound.
No, it's
yeah,
not.
I know.
No,
It
it's
is.
not. I don't do that. You do.
Sure you do. You do. So they're renovating the place, and people are wondering, are they going to stir up the resident ghost? Mm-hmm. So, okay, so this is what happened.
A little drywall, a little haunting.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
That's the way it works.
The niece of the original resident, J.P. Morgan, you know, he's that, you know, J.P. Morgan Chase, the credit card stuff, you know.
I don't gamble.
No, it's nothing to do with credit cards. He's a tycoon, a banker, whatever. Well, okay, so his niece supposedly died 8 years before Joan moved in, and when Joan Rivers renovated the place 25 years ago, there were spirit problems. Okay, so Joan Rivers said that the apartment suddenly got cold all the time. Never.
It's 5,100 square feet. You know what kind of heating system they must have?
Well,
I mean, maybe they don't have enough heating system. This is why it's getting cold. You know, I could correct this problem.
Oh, okay. So then she said that the electrical never got worked. I'm thinking, as I'm reading this list, I'm thinking maybe she just had really crappy renovators.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they didn't insulate the place. The electrical stuff wasn't working. She said the dog refused to go in. And then one day she comes home, and there's pornographic drawings on the wall. So she goes and she asks the doorman about it, and he's like, well, I guess Miss Spencer is back. And she's like, who's Mrs. Spencer? And he says that she's the niece that lived there prior, okay? So I'm thinking, it's probably the doorman. He's probably some cray-cray guy.
He is.
Hey, let's go in Joan Rivers' place and draw pornographic stuff. Like,
little stick people.
so instead of her thinking practical, like she goes out and asks this guy, hey, do you know what happened here? Oh, it's probably a ghost. And she believes him. It's like, hello, doorman, you're the only one here. And what's that crayon doing in your hand? I mean, come on, you know, it's
Why
so
is your
stupid.
hands all full of magic marker?
Kid. You got a little something
Why
right.
is the easel out?
It's so dumb. But, so she believes him, and she calls in a voodoo priestess.
Great idea.
Yeah.
First thing you want to do.
All right, you don't, you know.
Yeah, don't just
call
get the
anybody
voodoo
else.
priestess out there.
I mean,
and,
that's
and
what I
you
do.
know, that's what we always do. It's
Yeah.
the first thing you do.
Always.
You know, get the little doll, start poking pins. That's what you do.
So she performs this ceremony involving chanting and drumming. And then Joan Rivers says that the spirit was fine. Because the voodoo priestess said to hang a portrait of this chick in the lobby.
Chick.
Yeah. And then bring flowers to her in the ballroom.
A ghost chick.
A ghost chick. But here's the weird...
What do you call a ghost chick?
A ghost chick.
We'll have to come up with a name for
Okay.
a ghost chick.
All right. Chicky spirit.
Chicky.
I don't know. We'll think of something.
Chicky spirit.
So, here's the thing, though. Okay, so she says, oh, everything's fine. And I'm thinking, well, she really never said much other than the place being cold and electrical problems and her dog being scared. So I'm like, everything was fine. Well, now, or I mean, not now because Joan Rivers is dead, but right after this, she also says that the spirit visited her every night at exactly 3 a.m.
Well, it's nice to have a visitor and know when they're coming.
Even after.
You hate these people that just show up at the last minute, and here you got somebody that's polite enough to show up at a specific time. And maybe it's not convenient, but they could be from a different part of the country, this ghost, and he just shows up at what he thinks is a good time. You could have a whole 12 overclock thing going on here.
Well, first
He
of
might
all, it's
think
Miss
3.
Spencer. It's supposed to be a woman. Yeah.
Okay, what's that got to do with anything?
Well, you're
about
saying
the
he.
ghost?
You're saying he.
Oh, that's right. Oh, wow.
So you're not even listening.
I forgot.
You're not even paying attention. This is the problem we have in our marriage and in our podcast partnership. You just don't listen. I want a divorce. Hey, wouldn't we could do like this reality thing and get it
could?
going? Yeah, like people are like,
Maybe we
oh
get
my
our own
God.
show.
We could, yeah. We
Naked
could.
podcast.
No, why is it always going to be naked?
Because that's the way.
No, we're not being all naked podcasting. Well, anyways, the whole point was this ghost continued to visit her at 3 a.m. 3
Central?
a.m. Again.
Central time?
That's
Or?
demonic.
Well, is it 3 a.m. Central?
It's probably
Pacific or
Eastern.
Atlantic?
It's in New York, so it's probably Eastern.
New York.
Yeah.
Go out to the yard with a cat.
But I wonder, was it Joan Rivers' husband? Because he had committed suicide.
You would too.
Wait, that's just wrong, Scott. But here's the thing. I researched the heck out of this story, and I looked for the ancestry of J.P. Morgan, and there is absolutely no record of a Mrs. Spencer related to J.P. Morgan. But J.P. Morgan's great-grandpa's middle name, or was it his grandpa? I can't remember now. But his middle name was Spencer. But there's no Mrs. Spencer. So, I'm thinking, is it demonic? You got the 3 a.m. thing going on, and you know how they like to, demonic spirits like to give a little bit of truth and then mix things
that's what
up.
they do.
Right. So the Spencer, Mrs. Spencer. I don't know how the doorman knew about this whole thing, because supposedly
Now, was the doorman
he's-
with the old residents?
Yeah, probably, because this chick supposedly was raised in this place and lived there her whole life and died there, but there's absolutely no, record of her. Although there's got to be someone, because she supposedly hung this portrait of her. But she never showed the portrait. She never talked about it.
Never showed the portrait.
So,
Never.
Do you think? So, what do you think? Do you think hauntings occur out of renovations?
Oh, absolutely. They happen to me almost every day.
No,
on a daily basis.
It does not.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you renovate?
Lots of stuff.
Like what?
Like kitchens and bathrooms and rec rooms and stuff. I renovate them all the time.
That's your job, and then
these
you
ghosts
leave.
come flying out all the time. Oh, no, they're chasing me down. A lot of times that's why I come home early.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Because ghosts are chasing you?
That just scared me.
Do you think renovating a house causes spirits?
Causes spirits?
To like,
I think you can. I think
up?
you can stir up anything.
But renovating a house, really?
Yeah, it changes something.
I disagree.
Change. Well, it's all right to be wrong.
No, right, and it's okay. I forgive you.
No, I forgive
for being
you.
wrong.
No,
Yeah.
No, it's up to you to be wrong.
How do you always think I'm wrong? This is the problem we have in our marriage.
Baby, it's not that you're wrong. It's just that you're never right.
No, it's that I make you think you're right too often, and now you're starting to believe it. Now we've got a problem.
You need to stick to the program.
I'm trying to stick to the program, but you keep saying inaccurate things like I'm wrong. So, well, what do you think? You really do, huh?
I do. Yeah, I think it's possible. Sure.
So, what do you think is
I mean, we already know we know a residual.
Right.
We're not sure what it is or what causes it. Well, why, if you can have something that residually continues the same thing at the same time on a regular basis, why couldn't a little bit of change in a place that, I don't know, they're trapped in, stuck in, or whatever, be disturbed in some way and disturb them to what they're used to?
So you think...
Besides that, did you not watch Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice, the documentary of all ghost
Yes.
stories. Yes.
I mean, come on, you've seen what happened when they started messing around with stuff. I mean, they got upset.
Well, yeah, but...
Yeah. And they had to call in a bioexorcist to take care of this matter.
Don't you think these ghosts supposedly would be more upset about the fact that they didn't go to heaven, or that they're stuck somewhere, that you're changing
Remember
stuff up?
them sandworms?
Yeah, honey,
Yeah.
that's a movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what? I bet you 95% of our listeners, which at this point is becoming a lot of listeners, are going to agree that Beetlejuice by far is the document of documents, is the Bible of paranormal. Everybody knows that. Although Ghostbusters is on the other side of it. They're capturing them, right? But the bioexorcist, the legend, Beetlejuice, babe, you know what I'm saying? That's right, you know. Learn the three boys. Learn to have a party. Yeah, well, there you go, baby. Hey, don't touch that.
I don't know. So you think
I
that...
went to Harvard. Spent about 3 years there.
Don't make me laugh too hard, because I'm not going to be able to do the podcast. My cheeks hurt. Okay.
That's not my problem, baby. I'll just do what I've been hard to do, you know.
So you think our physical stuff bothers them, huh?
Yeah.
You do?
Absolutely, man.
That's interesting. I guess I never thought that. I mean, but although we've had a lot of cases where...
And you're also talking about, in this instance, you know, we know with wrongdoings, we see a lot of ghost activity with places with, you know, ghosts or demonic, or, you know, some of these things we just don't know. Mm-hmm. But with any place that's had wrongdoings, you know, old jail cells, old places where they've done mental institutions and stuff like that, where we've seen wrongdoings.
People where they do stuff like this, and you start doing this with the brains.
Yeah. Well, I knew you'd get it right away.
Well, yeah, because I'm married too. I look at it all the time. Yeah. Go ahead.